The story begins in a hospital room, where our main character, Takuto, dies while playing his favorite game Eternal Night. Then suddenly, he wakes up in a strange new world completely alive and well. There, a beautiful woman with red eyes named Atu greets him. She was a character from Eternal Night, a strategy game Takuto loved. And Atu calls Takuto her beloved king because he was the only one who finished the game on the highest difficulty, using the ruined civilization which was the hardest to manage. And because of this, Takuto was at the top of the global rankings. Atu remembers everything, including when he played and what he said to her, so in simple terms, Takuto's favorite game character became real. He felt very emotional seeing her, and both Takuto and Atu were brought to this new place. Atu believes it is the world of Eternal Night. So she wants to start over and conquer this world with Takuto just like they did in the game. She says it does not matter if it is Eternal Night or a different world. They can rule it and create their dream kingdom if they are together. Takuto was confused but also amazed by her words, so he decided to join her to bring back their ruined civilization. Atu then got into her evil character and said some classic villain lines, and Takuto played along. They wanted to recreate their civilization, which was known as the most evil nation, and to do this, Takuto used instant production to create a little monster scout. It was disgusting, but since their nation is about evil and ruin, Takuto wanted to stay hidden and gather as much information as possible. He gave the scout its first order, and Atu warned it to do a good job. It seemed her command still works, and Takuto could also use his MP for production, but emergency production uses too much MP, so they need to avoid it, and Atu wanted to fight to get more mana. But she is weak, and exploring is too risky right now. Meanwhile, the scout was moving ahead and Takuto was watching its location with a shared vision, which helped him understand the surrounding area. Strangely, the scout did not run into any monsters or animals for a while, and Atu thought monsters might be hiding, but no animals was odd. If there are no animals, then they will not have food. So, Takuto decided to scout a little more, and Atu felt sad because she was not being helpful, but Takuto was just happy to have her there, which made her happy. But then Takuto saw a small dark elf settlement. It looked like the poor people had barely escaped from something dangerous, and Atu thought this was normal. Dark elves usually try to stay neutral but are considered evil, but them being so close was bad news for Takuto because he wanted to keep his civilization hidden. So Atu suggested they run away together, and Takuto agreed with her, but Takuto quickly changed his mind and chose to observe the dark elves first and see what happens, because maybe they would get lucky and not have to flee. However, the dark elves came to them first. A while back, before Takuto was summoned, the dark elves were looking for a settlement but found no suitable place. The forest had plants, so they stopped for a while so their elder and children could survive. The head warrior of the dark elves, Gia, decided to lead a group to find food, and according to old books, Emil had read that a cursed forest lay ahead where something evil was sealed, but Gia thought these were just made-up stories because the forest looked normal. He continued the expedition, and soon he too thought this forest looked dangerous, but they had no other choice but to find food for their people. That is how they ended up here, and just from the aura of Takuto and Atu, Gia knew he was in trouble. Especially Takuto was giving off death vibes, so Gia and the others immediately knelt and announced they were from the Masarum clan and apologized for entering the High Being's domain without permission. Atu was pleased they had manners and understood the situation. Gia then told them they lived in a land called Idaragia, but he was going into too much detail, which annoyed Atu. So Gia got straight to the point that his people were being targeted and driven out of their land. He felt like he had made his last mistake, but Takuto told him to continue. Then Gia said the mass killing was insane and they were left with almost nothing, so they came here to escape, and after settling, the young dark elves decided to explore and gather food because they had not eaten for days. These poor dark elves were innocent people and were killed brutally. Anger filled Gia, but Takuto gave him some apples. Apples were not from this world, so Gia was wary, but he could not say anything. But his group, however, immediately started eating them. Gia was not eating, and Atu noticed he was being rude to Takuto, but Gia was thinking about the kids back at his settlement who had not eaten anything yet. He wanted to give them food before his own hunger. This was a noble thought, so Takuto then made a mountain of food for them. Dark elves are scorned as beings of darkness, yet they survived only thanks to an elf's mercy. No one had ever helped their kind before, but Takuto did. Plus he gave them a lot of food using emergency summon. And other dark elves were hoping Gia would bring back food, and many lives were barely clinging to that small hope, and today was their lucky day as Gia really brought enough food for every mouth. Watching those pure smiles was worth it, and a girl asked where he found the food, but Jia kept his encounter a secret from others. After everyone fell asleep, the elder of their group came out. He praised Jia for bringing back food, and Jia said he tested the food before handing it out. The food was incredibly good, so he told the elder about his encounter with the legendary being earlier. Emil had said an evil being was sealed in the woods, and the elder realized it was the King of Ruin mentioned in ancient books. Legends say the King of Ruin will appear to bring destruction and create the world anew. Jia did not ask for his name, but he was sure this being was dangerous beyond their understanding. Still, a girl was serving him and was interpreting the king's words to them. The elder could tell that even if this being was not the King of Ruin, it was certainly no good. So he asked Jia if he had offered the being something. So far Jia had not, but evil beings never do charity like this, so why would the King of Ruin help them? Jia said his grace just showed sympathy to them, but the elder got angry at him for showing respect to an evil being. But evil or not, Jia said he only knew one thing. His grace helped them when they were dying from hunger, so he did not care who or what it was, even now. Their strength to argue was all thanks to him, and Elder Molter could not say anything further and understood Jia was right, but from now on he wanted to negotiate with the king, and at that time, the King of Ruin was being lectured because he used their precious mana for those dark elves. Takuto could not help but feel sorry for them, but Atu got mad. Takuto tried to convince her and offered to do anything she liked because he needed her. That completely changed her mood, and she started praising Takuto again. Then Takuto said he is too shy to talk. Even in front of dark elves he got shy, and the reason is that he was a complete shut-in and did not even talk to nurses or doctors. Poor guy. Then that disgusting scout creature scared Atu a lot. And right there our episode 1 ends for today, so stay tuned to watch the next episode. And for that, subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Till then, take care.